I wanted to make a quick video about these eBay front differentials for a Polaris Ranger or a Sportsman. I've seen this twice now. I haven't seen many videos on YouTube or anywhere about it, so I figured I'd post one. Got a Ranger high lifter. We just did axles, ball joints, bearings, a whole front end rebuild, and the gentleman wanted to go ahead and put a new front diff in. His was working, but it was crusty, rusty, and if you know anything about the high lifter, you guys know how they're used. So he brought us a diff. He said it was from eBay, had good reviews. I personally haven't had any experience with one, so we went ahead and put it in for him. Got the vehicle together, seemed to do okay in four-wheel drive. The first time he took it out and put it under a load, he was getting an excessive popping and jerking noise in the front end. We took a look at it, couldn't find anything wrong with bushings, axles, decided to do a tear down. If you look here, this is the eBay front differential. I'm going to post a picture of the Polaris Ranger differential. I wish I had it apart, should have done a video then, but we wanted to get this back together for him. If you look where the sprag comes in, look how much play we've got here. Just check that out. Also, plastic. I found a lot, and you can still see them in the video here, black shavings. So this sprag is slipping against this black plastic piece under a load, and he's not getting four-wheel drive. This is the second time I've seen this. We had a Sportsman in that we didn't do the diff on, but the gentleman had a similar issue, clunks, pops, and jerking, and four-wheel drive not working. We disassembled the diff, and I noticed this. At the time, we didn't know it was an eBay diff. He got a used differential, OE Polaris, never had a problem. Another thing I want to note is the size. Again, I'll post a picture. Polaris, at least on the high lifter and on the Sportsman SP we saw, uses a brass insert here. This is plastic. You see how loose this fits? Even on the used Polaris differentials, this sprag is tight. There's no play, there's no gaps. Another thing, people say, well, maybe I'll just grab it for the case. I cracked my case. They did something different on these eBay differentials as well. Inside here is much smaller. If you ever look at a Polaris one, it's about, I hate to use the old redneck method here, but about 3 to 4 fingers deep. Here, this is barely 2. So if you go and try and pull your guts out just to use the casing, if we pull this gear out, the casing has actually been machined differently. This is smaller here as well. You can't use the magnet. So this case and this whole setup isn't going to do you any good. For the price, I understand people say $200–300 for a differential. I would not gamble it, especially if you're not personally doing the install, because that's a lot of work pulling this diff in and out twice. And even with friendly shop rates here locally, this gentleman spent more than he wanted to. I would recommend, of course, Super ATV for a differential. If you don't need one that extreme, I have heard good things about the Eastlake front differentials. I personally have not run one. I've also heard some feedback that the cheap Chinese ones have these Allen bolts coming around. So when that cover sits on here, you're going to see all Allen bolts versus some of the better built ones that are going to have the 10mm. I'd avoid it all if you could. Again, maybe try Eastlake. I've used a lot of Eastlake axles, bearings, and bushings. I've had good feedback, so I would assume their diffs are of the same quality. But as far as running any of these eBay or even Amazon cheap differentials, I would advise against it. I mean, this wasn't even in for 10 miles, and you can already see wear. And again, just look at all that play for a brand new differential. And this being the second time that we've seen it, this just seems like a cheap eBay, Amazon, China build. I'd steer away from them. Go OE if you can afford it, Super ATV, or maybe in the worst case, Eastlake. If we get an Eastlake one in here, we'll put it in. If there's no issues, we're obviously not going to tear it down, but I can at least post a video giving some feedback about that. Any questions or concerns, feel free to comment, like the video, subscribe. We'll post any more info we can, but hopefully this will help somebody that's trying to get back on the road and be economical and save them the headache of what everyone else has been dealing with here lately. Again, these eBay differentials, I would steer clear of them no matter the price.